So I'm going to do an experiment right now. This is real time. This is live. I haven't left the house all day. I've been kind of lazy. It doesn't matter if I take a right or left, or it doesn't matter which direction I go. This holographic appearance will appear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to picture in my mind a bicycle. And it could be a moped, motorcycle, whatever. A blue bicycle. Now notice the blue over there. I was thinking about it earlier today, about doing this experiment. So I'm going to go to the store, blue bicycle, holographic reflection. So you imagine in your mind the wheel, the seat, the handlebars, the color blue, and you'll start to see the reflection because it's a copy machine. And whether it's 1D, 2D, 3D, 5D, it's all connected. Look at this baby in the street. Look at this. Where's your home at? Which home is yours? Which?
Right there, little girl.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, let's go home. I think it's their daughter, son, or whatever. I think they got a small one over there.
He or she was out in the road here. Oh, Lord. Just want to make sure the baby was out in the middle of the street. With all the human trafficking, people yank people up in a split second, you know. All right, so blue, back to what I was saying. So there's a little cycles. There's the cycles starting to appear. Notice a baby in the street. So it's birthing in. So you're birthing in the concepts in your mind. The holographic appearance will birth in. So there's a bicycle. It's purple. It's a purple bicycle. Bluish purple. The lady's got blue headphones. Something like that makes you lose your equilibrium, what you were doing, you know. So the people in the house don't even know their child's out in the middle of the street. And the lady, the next door neighbor, picks the child up and carries it and knocks on the door, and it takes them forever to get to the door. That's sad. I mean, that's really sad. That is sad. All right, so there's a bicycle. See how it repeats? You might say, well, bicycles are everywhere. Not necessarily. I've driven this road 1,000 times, and I don't always. Now look, he's walking his bicycle. So we saw a purple, bluish bicycle right off the bat, even right up the street. And there's a bicycle. You might say, well, prove that you didn't know that bicycle was up the street. Well, I can't prove that, but I didn't leave the house. Look at this. I sent somebody an email talking about how see the X across the the plates. I sent somebody an email the other day talking about how they think, how you crisscross a bunch of X's. So everything is a cross. Cross the street, cross your mind, cross that child, cross the street. It's all X, it's all cross, going through the cross. Everything you do is through the cross. That's wild stuff right there. Baby out in the middle of the street. Maybe this is the video you need to birth in the spirit mind that this place, this 3D, is just a projection from the 5D, and the same truth is happening in 2D, 5D, 1D, is happening everywhere at all times. So there's a moped. Remember I said moped at the beginning? Well, it's a bicycle, moped, or I was thinking moped. I think I said that. I can't remember if I said it or not, but I think I did. But when I get done with the, and I said motorcycle, I said bicycle, moped, motorcycle, I think. There's a motorcycle. Well, there's some are motorcycles, bikes are everywhere. Yeah, I know. But I've been down this street 1,000 times and not seen those three things, really four, many times. It's gonna be more apparent as we drive to my destination. And so it's a reflection, people. That's why when you reflect upon something, it reflects back. Words are the hologram. Thoughts are holographic. You think in words. You think in symbols, and a symbol is a word. You think in shapes and symbols. Everything is a word. And a lot of people say, don't use words. You need to blank out your mind. Look at that. They don't always have them bicycles out there in the middle of the parking lot. Thousands of them. Like 20 bicycles, 10 bicycles. But I've never seen them do that before, where they put them right there on the street. Bicycle, moped, and that was many different colors of bicycles. There's got to be a blue in there. Let's go see. Waste my gas to prove this point. You can do this with a job. If you're looking for a spouse, you can do this with anything, because you're writing into the script, because it's a holographic reflection of your heart, your mind. You got to get your heart right, because if you start doing this and your heart's not right, you're going to start reflecting the bad stuff, right? Because you reflect what you ponder. So if you're in bitterness and unforgiveness, you're going to and hate and anger and fighting, you're going to reflect that back. And you might say, well, somebody might say, well, it's there because you thought about it. It was already there. They might not say that, but let me just tell you what's really going on. Every moment is the now. Every moment is the now. So they see there is a blue bicycle right there. They don't do this. I've never seen them do this right here, where they put their bicycles out in the street. But there is a blue bicycle right there. There's two of them. There's a light blue, dark blue, and a psychedelic blue. Anyway, I want to go up this street and see what's up here. I've never been up this street before. A lot of times it's fun to explore, you know. It's fun to explore. Yeah, I've been over here before. I didn't know they had a pool supply place over here. I'm pool certified. Good to know that kind of stuff. What's the chances of this car wanting to fight me over the road? What's the chances of 2 or 3 cars on this back road that you never get at? Anyway, you saw the bicycles appear in the hologram. Look, there's a bicycle right there. There's a motorcycle. There's a bicycle, a yellow bicycle right there. Yellow bicycle, motorcycle in the yard. Pallets like crazy. I've been thinking about pallets and getting pallets to build a fence. You might say, well, how does pre-crime work? How does what about these how do these police know there's going to be a copycat? You know, how do these police know there's going to be a copycat crime? You know, before it happens, because it's a copy machine. If you start to see one crime, you start to see many of the same types of crime. There's nothing new. It's all a copy machine. Be fruitful and multiply means what? Multiply means multiplication, multiple. Multiple is multi, which is copies, right? Seeing if this has been rained on. It's not been rained on, but I got a lot of ants. So don't have a lot of ants. Anyway, so it's a copy machine. This is really fun, people. Hunt and gather. And you get free stuff, and the system won't like you to get free stuff, right? So the copy machine is why a man and woman can make a baby, right? I don't know if that piece was rained on or not, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it's expanded. A shed full of wood already, but I'm doing this video about the motorcycle, the bicycle, and the moped. I might as well. So you picture in your mind, you picture in your mind see what happens when college is out and people start, and spring starts happening, people start moving, you know. Let me just give you a little secret. There's a lot of seasons where people move, especially when college students finish their end of their year or summer school or whatever. And so sometimes you pick up stuff that's brand spanking new, believe it or not. Like, let me ask you this. Yeah, that's bad carpet. That's not good. Sometimes people throw out new carpet even, believe it or not, because they just had it for a season. Let me ask you this. Can you tell me something in this reality that's not a copy? Can you tell me something in this reality that's not a copy? Hello? or doesn't have copies. God made man in his image. So your thoughts, your personality, your character, where you live, what you're thinking right now, there's nothing new. You think you have a new thought. And it might be new from the human perspective, but it's not new to God. It's not new to Jesus. You already know, most of the time, what people are thinking. You know these corporations are they want to get good people, then they want to work them to death, and then they try not to lose them. And then when they get other good people, they don't care if they lose you or not. But they're not thinking long term, they're thinking short term. But if you get some leadership in there that's thinking long term, and it's not just about their little bonus every month or every 3 months or whatever it is. See that palette painted green? See how they use that as a decorative tool? You could actually make seats out of a palette. I got off track from the motorcycle and the bicycle and all that, and so now my mind is creating new copies. So what you're thinking about now is creating copies, and it's going to reflect back. Then your mind goes to something else and creates copies, and then your mind goes to something else and creates new copies, precogs, postcogs, or whatever. So I could actually do a shift right now. We saw bicycles galore. And so I could shift over to a tarp. Let's think about a tarp. Whether it's a blue one, yellow one, whatever. You could think about a square tarp or a piece of plastic tarp, and you turn that over in your mind and think about folding the tarp. And I don't know how to manufacture a tarp, but think about how they manufacture it. I'm not sure how they do it, but think about a tarp. And watch the tarp appear in the hologram, because it's a holographic fractal reality. And all this is a reflection of what's in here. When somebody told me that 20 years ago, I thought they were crazy. But it makes total sense. It makes total sense. Because think about it. God created this earth for you, to benefit you, to help you, to keep you healthy, to give you abundance, to give you hope and faith and growth, and to grow you. This reality was built for you, to develop you, to birth you spiritually, physically. There's another palette sitting there, just sitting there. So the seed that you sow is going to reflect back. And if you sow the seed long enough, you're going to have a multiple reflection. I guess you could call those tarps, but I'm not going to count that. The seed, there's a tarp on that cover. I'm not going to count that, though. I'm not even going to count that. The seed multiplies, right? The seed is within the seed. And so multiplication, be fruitful and multiply, like plywood, that stuff I just picked up is actually pressed board, multiple layers pressed together. See, the hologram's smarter than you think it is. I was talking about and I pick up a piece of board that is pressed wood, multi-layers pressed together. That's what plywood is. Plywoods, they take a bunch of chips and they press it together. Multiply. Plywood, right? That's why it's called plywood. So that reflection, I didn't even catch. But I was talking about multiply, and there was the multiply piece of plywood. Pressed board, pressed together. And so it's happening all the time. The problem is people are not aware of their thoughts and not aware of the words and the etymology, and they don't understand the real meaning of a word, like the word department, department, off part meant human resources, to resource you. It's all happening all the time, everywhere, and it's really another world hidden in plain view, and people aren't able to receive it because they're stuck in 3D. They're stuck in 3D. The Bible talks about oneness with God, and He will give you the desires of your heart, right? Now, when you break it really down to its ultimate, He's already given you the desires of your heart, but you just have to reach out and grab it, take hold of it. So the tarp, I really didn't think about before just now, so it might take a minute to appear, but maybe the next video, because I got to go over here and get some gas. But the next video, we'll look for the tarp to appear in multiple situations. It's a birthing process. I just saw 2 umbrellas right over here with 2 tarp type things over the umbrella, and there's so many doubting Thomases. Let me just go back over and show you a picture of it. I almost don't want to include it, but it's an umbrella, but it's not like a normal. They're not like normal umbrellas. They're tarps on top of the umbrella. But I wasn't going to include it, but let me just show you anyway. Where was it at? I just saw it. There they are. I see it. See, they were already here. So even those tarps over those windows, right? And that tarp over that door, right? It's not the kind of tarp I had in my mind. I had just a square, a regular tarp that you put over a something. It's got something on the back of your truck, and you're just tarping it, But see these 2 umbrellas? They have tarp fabric, tarp-like fabric. At least one of them does. But I was thinking like the tarp that you put on the back of your truck if you want something not to get wet. But it's going to appear. It has to. And at first, when you start to see it, you're like in shock. You think you're losing your mind at first, and then you start to meditate on it, and you start to say, "Oh, okay, it's just a copy machine." God made man in His image. Be fruitful and multiply, plywood, multiple layers. When you multiply stuff, multiplication, it's everywhere you look. It's copy. Can you find something that's not a copy? No. Try to find something that's not a copy. You can't do it. What are you going to say if I pull over here and some truck pulls up with a tarp on it? What are you going to say then? Doubting Thomases. Let's go over here. There's a truck with a tarp on it. There's a truck with a tarp on it right there. Now what, Doubting Thomases? Now what? Now what? Now what? Doubting Thomases? Now what? And that's not even really, I'm not even going to accept that one as my final appearance. So I'll make another video today when I leave and get this gas. But that is definitely a tarp on the back of that truck that I just said right there. I was going to turn right here and I saw that truck from a distance, and I wouldn't be surprised if another one doesn't appear. So the next video, back to the crib, I'll do another video showing you how the tarp will appear. You saw the bicycles appear. You saw the tarp right after I said tarp on the truck. You saw that appear. The loose tarps, that's what I had a picture in my mind, just a loose tarp laid on, folded up or laid on the ground or attached to something. From the 3D perspective, it doesn't feel like a hologram because you're actually a 3D creature walking in the middle of it. But it's a holographic projection. From a 5D perspective. So if you get the 5D mind, you can see through it. But without the 5D mind, you can't see through it.